Welcome, dear friends and strangers, to another episode of The Toe Show. I'm your host, The Toe itself. I'm glad you guys made it because we have a juicy topic for today's episode road signs. Yeah, I know. I was just bored while driving and started to think about them, so that's why I decided to cover the topic here. So you'll have some random ass facts to tell others while doing your next road trip or something. So you're welcome. Anyway, let's talk about it. Road signs, just as many other great things, like taking a dump indoors, got their early start in Roman Empire. I guess this is somewhat related to the fact that Romans were crazy about their roads. But I guess you have to be, since it's the backbone of your empire, which is held together by a large military force, which you might need, to move around quickly. Just in case if some colleagues of yours try to stab you during your office hours. But about the signs themselves. Romans kept it simple by just placing milestones on the side of the roads, mostly to indicate distance to Rome. Can you guess what was the distance between two of these stones? That's right, 1 mile, which in Latin actually means 1,000, and that's exactly how much steps you had to take to reach the next stone. These imperial units tend to be very wild. But to be honest here, they might have gotten the idea to put things on the side of the road from Asia, where things were done in a similar manner in Mauryan Empire. But they just marked the roads with stone pillars, where each of them were found 10 stades or 6,000 feet from each other. Well, moving forward in history, in the Middle Ages we started placing signs on roads that indicated the distance to the town or village in that direction. This also led to naming of roads. And the medieval thinking was not that complex as well. The guys just went like, you know what? Everyone should know what kind of people live at the end of this road. Yeah. Let's name this road in their honor. Yeah. Perfect. But it was only in 1686 when first actual signs with meaning other than direction and distance were introduced, and that happened in Portugal. King Pedro II decided to introduce priority signs in the narrowest streets of Lisbon, showing which direction traffic had to yield to the opposite direction. And remember, with the word traffic, we are still talking about horses and plain old walking. Moving on, the first warning signs on a wide scale originated in England. Actually, these warning signs were meant for the people who might disregard them the most in the modern times, the cyclists. But the vintage kind? These new and fancy machines were a threat to their riders as well as for others, just like in modern times, but they were dangerous not because of the riders' entitlement, but rather because they were fast, silent, and of course, high, and the combination of these reasons made them rather hard to control. Therefore, cycling organizations started to put up signs warning of turns and steep hills. One sign created in this era was displaying a skull and crossbones. And you might think, oh, cool, something cool like pirates or entrance to the underworld. No, sorry, it just indicated that there is a steep hill ahead, which of course can actually lead to your end, but sadly no pirates though. The development of automobiles totally changed the whole sign game, because if you thought bicycles were fast, well, I got news for you. These new metal beasts could reach a whopping speed of 30 kilometers per hour, which is like 20 miles. Yeah, not that fast. That's average for some bears. But they improved fast and were still faster, heavier, and more dangerous than bicycles, so still a force to be reckoned with. All this happened at the beginning of 20th century, and both sides of the pond, US and Europe, developed their own road sign systems that included shapes and colors, because up till this point the signs were mostly using text, well, not including our pirate sign, of course. For the next 50 years or so, the sign systems had to keep up with the rapid development of automobile industries. Therefore, this was a period of huge improvement and centralization of sign designs and meanings behind them. United States and Europe's sign systems were largely adopted by the countries in their sphere of influence. Therefore, nowadays, we don't have the same signs everywhere. Heck, the design details themselves actually differ from country to country. Still, both original systems are rather different from each other. For example, Europe decided to go heavy on symbols, while Americans kept holding on to the more text-based communication in their signs. Oh, and also the color. EU loves their blue, but US goes hard on yellow. Well, I also have to touch the subject of sign materials as well. Up till the industrial era, any signs on the roads were rock hard or erected with wood, which is kinda difficult to imagine by thinking about the way signs look nowadays. Anyway, that all changed when humans discovered the magnificent advanced manufacturing that came in industrial era. Then we started to get metal signs and air pollution. Nevertheless, these signs quickly turned into something familiar like we know today. Aluminium signs. Oh, and yeah, they are seen in dark. In the past, though, they actually added small glass shards to the signs to make them somewhat visible in the dark. But it's really hard to see a glass bottle in a completely dark room, so I can't really vouch for the effectiveness of this solution. And of course, the final step of this evolution so far are displays. They actually can give you specific messages about the road based on the current weather conditions and construction, etc. It is not fair that I can look at their screens while driving but not mine. But hey, don't listen to me and stay safe out there. And look at that, there goes another episode of the Tow Show. 'Cause that's pretty much all there is about the signs we have on the roads. Nothing wild, to be honest. But hey, not all fun facts are actually fun, so just deal with it. Or don't. Anyways, thanks for watching though. If you like this and just like me, hope for a more knowledge-filled video dropping next, press them likes and subs and see you next time. Toes out.